Welcome back to VHS Tacos, everybody. Back in 2020, when Chadwick Boseman passed away, it took everybody by storm and shocked the world over. It was unexpected because he kept it a secret. Well, business is business, and the world keeps on spinning, unfortunately, which means that, yes, here we are. Not only is this have a whole world of questions surrounding it, how it plays out, how does it fare without Chadwick, and so on. But then Kevin Feige dropped the bomb on everybody a couple months ago and said that this is the end of Phase 4. So the implications for that, of course, are massive. So here we go. This is a great movie for me, personally. It's a tough movie to sit through, and you can tell from the moment that the movie opens up. You know, I mean, you get your standard Marvel fanfare and the logo showing all the various superheroes, you know, and the horns and the trumpets and everything like that. Not this time. We are greeted with dead silence, and we don't get Iron Man and Miss Marvel and Hulk and Thor and everybody, you know, on the logo. We get Chadwick, and we get Chadwick, and we get Chadwick, and we get Chadwick.
Beautiful.
And it's dead quiet. There's no sound effects. There is nothing the whole way through. You could have heard a pin drop in that movie theater. But what you do end up hearing is the stifled sounds of sniffling and crying and holding back tears because it's emotional right out of the gate. And then, as if it wasn't enough, we are hit with a funeral.
Yeah.
You know, and it's an interesting funeral because our main characters, you see their pain, you see their sadness, but then everybody else though is like, not joyous, not happy, but it's a celebration of life because, as T'Challa said, death is not the end, it is merely a stepping off point. It is a beautiful opening. Honest to God, it is a beautiful opening for what is a very respectful movie. You could have had Disney try to do their CGI mumbo jumbo. They could have tried to cut and piece footage together like they did with Carrie Fisher. They could have had a stand-in in the Panther outfit, but they went against all of that. And what they have here is just the memory of Chadwick, the memory of T'Challa hang over the entirety of the movie. And it's interesting that they bring in Namor. Apparently Namor was always part of the plan. He was always there from the jump. Things had to be reworked, obviously. But
he was a mad guy.
He was a mad guy, of course, you know, in the comics, you know, Imperious Rex is he's a So it's interesting here because we do get a couple layers to Namor. You know, is he still angry? Yeah, he is angry, but with his backstory, he has every right to be angry. And the actor, I will dare not butcher his name, I think he does a great job because he's playful,
really good.
He's kind, and he's loving when he has those quiet moments with Shuri. But then when it comes time for him to step up as king and show what he's really made of, he absolutely does it. And he excels. There's this hand-to-hand combat scene between him and Shuri towards the end of the movie, and he's great in the action. I mean, it's like he was born for this. He is fantastic, and I cannot wait to see more of him. And the design of it is great. They do go ahead and name drop for the second time the word mutant. So he is a mutant. You know, Feige is slowly laying those building blocks for the X-Men, whenever
He's like,
that
what?
is.
Who said that?
It's not your run-of-the-mill villain. And what I've really appreciated about Phase 4 with Marvel, with the exception of Black Widow, is that we don't get your usual, like, I'm evil because I'm evil. It's like, no.
It's for a reason.
It's for a reason. You know,
Something
Shang-Chi
led up
and
to
his
that.
father. You have Wanda and Doctor Strange. You have Gore and Thor. Nah, there's a reason for that anger, and I appreciate that. You know, we're done with the one-note villains here. The rest of the cast, in my opinion, and I know Mrs. Taco has a different opinion, I believe that they fare extremely, extremely well because in the scenes where they express their love, you know, and their sorrow for missing T'Challa.
It's real.
It's real. It's not the actors expressing their sorrow for a fictional character. It is Letitia Wright. It is everybody expressing their sorrow and their sadness for the passing of Chadwick. And it translates over. And so God, you feel it. And it's tough to hold back those tears in those quiet moments. And this movie has a lot of them.
I will say, Letitia, she definitely is trying her best to hold her own. I just personally think that she's not a knockout, you know, the main star. But that doesn't mean she can't be. She can't get there because I don't know what the story was going to be.
Right.
So I don't know if she anticipated, this kind of being her movie. So it's just, I don't know. But everyone did really well. Did wonderful, yeah.
To counter that, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I will say, though, it has to be extremely difficult to where, essentially the studio and Ryan Coogler and everybody comes to you and they say, hey, you're now going to be the Black Panther moving forward, and you have to channel all of those emotions into something
and also
other.
fill those shoes of just like what everyone idolized and just loved.
We are introduced, and this is another debate that we have. They do introduce Riri Williams, who I've been excited for ever since they announced that. I unfortunately saw what the armor looked like thanks to some packaging on some toys beforehand. But the actual suit of armor that she gets here, the final suit and the prototype suit, it's great. Even her introduction is wonderful, the way that they tease it and everything like that. When they're in this warehouse and they're all trying to break out as the FBI and the CIA are trying to get them, and then they break through the government, and you hear the Iron Man sound. You hear the suit of armor and the repulsor whir up, and the guy goes, wait a minute, is that another Iron Man? And it's like, that's wonderful. I love that. It's
Once
great.
Again, I feel like it's the same thing that, I don't know. She wasn't bad, but I was just kind of I wasn't really it wasn't there for me. She did good. Once again, she did good. And that's a hard, or not, I wouldn't say a hard cast, but it's a lot of good actors.
It's a lot of good actors. And again, you have to hold your own,
she did good.
Yeah.
It's rough.
It is. It is rough.
Movie.
It's tough to stand on your own. It's kind of I believe it would be how Mark Ruffalo felt in the first Avengers. You're stepping into somebody else's playground, and you're one of the key players for the first time.
And also, there's this kind of, I don't want to say cloud, but somewhat of a cloud over this movie. So it's, it's hard to kind of really bring that playfulness that I was really she was definitely bringing it, but I think it's just rough. I'm sorry, but I love Winston Duke. I love that guy.
Winston Duke will never not be great.
He's so awesome.
He'll never not be great. The story choices that they make in the passing of Chadwick and the passing of T'Challa in the universe and all, they're tough. Shuri, she also loses her mom here. Queen Ramonda, she does die. And it happens so out of nowhere, even though I guess looking back now, you see it coming, that you really don't even process it for a minute. Because you're like, oh, she can be brought back. She will be brought back. There's no way that you can take both her brother and her mother all in the same movie. Especially after, in the beginning, Queen Ramonda gives that speech that everything has been taken away from her after Shuri gets kidnapped by Namor. This is a movie about family, about coping with grief and loss, but still having to step up,
find your place.
Finding your place, even though you want those intrusive thoughts and those bad feelings to take over because they feel good. Then at the end of the movie, and even though we're really big on spoilers here, we're going to kind of dance around this one a little bit. It is something that needs to be experienced for the full impact going in blind.
Oh, yeah.
Although I'm sure you can look it up on the internet or any other review with a clickbait title. At the end of the movie, we do get Shuri, and she goes to Haiti. And there's a particular character there who has something that they need to get off their chest and tell Shuri. And it is a very collective gasp from the crowd. It is a scene that will bring tears to your eyes. And then the movie doesn't take it further. Any further than it needs to. And it ends, and then the song from Rihanna comes on.
It's Lift Me Up?
It is Lift Me Up.
Yeah.
And which is what I needed, because I was in a pool of tears by the time that song was over, processing what I just saw. There is no after credit scene. They were respectful enough to say, this is it. We're ending phase 4 with this bombshell of an end scene. And then there's a little bit of a mid-credit scene after the stylized credits to kind of wrap it all up. This is a beautiful movie. We have some twists and turns. We have some characters that pop up. There's a cameo in there. I don't want to ruin it. And it's a bit of a doozy. And actually, there's another cameo in there, which it ties into some of our Disney Plus shows that we've been getting, because the world building must continue, and it does so in a great way.
This person always, every time I see this person,
they're delightful, and you can tell that they are probably having the most fun in the MCU.
Best time,
I'm so excited to see them move forward.
But overall,
this is a great movie. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. It's a hard movie. You know, it's a hard movie with a lot of emotions. It's in theaters. We saw it in Dolby.
Yes.
It was beautiful. Oh, it was gorgeous.
It was very beautiful.
It's a gorgeous movie, and the sound was just fantastic. But, of course, it's out in whatever capacity you want. If you guys had a chance to see it or check it out, by all means, let us know down in the comments below. Let's try to kind of keep it spoiler-free. I don't want to police it, you know. Y'all post whatever you want, but let's just try to keep it spoiler-free, you know, just in
Let
case
people enjoy it
for that ending
organically.
scene. You know, I know that we're really all about spoilers here, but let's avoid that one. And until next time, guys, this has been VHS Tacos signing off. I need to mentally prepare myself for Ant-Man getting the living kicked out of him by a mega jacked John Majors
He's so cool.
as Kang. Adios.
Bye.